Hello YouTube, my name is Ravdias and welcome back to Can They Be DLC episode 12. And yeah, this has been 3 months already of this series. Oh no, I just realized, no, this is actually episode 13. I was looking at my list and I realized I named the last two episodes 11. Oh boy, that's not pretty. But let's keep going. This episode, as the title says, it's gonna be about indies as a whole. Obviously, you can separate all of them into different categories, but obviously I'm gonna do it all in one because I don't think a lot of them have a chance, let's put it that way. But first, let's talk about the potential news that came out this week for Super Smash Bros. The first one, it's the fact that Joker will be coming out soon, and that's all we heard. Soon. I don't know if this was this week or last week, but I believe it was this week. We got the render leak from Best Buy that had the Joker render, or alleged render. It could be, I believe it will be, actually I don't have any reasons to doubt, despite the fact that it's in a similar pose to Link, but outside of for Champion Link. We have to be careful when you say Link, there's 3 Links in the game. For Champion Link, and that's the only thing, but it also comes from Best Buy, which kind of makes me a little bit iffy on it, because Best Buy also had another leak that was pertaining to a possible Nintendo Direct that should be coming out any day now. I think that actually next episode of Can Be DLC is still up in the air because of what might happen next week, either the 10th, 11th or 12th. I'm expecting on the 11th. I'm expecting a Direct, mostly because it feels like the right time, you know, mid-April. Yes, E3 is 2 months away, but we know Nintendo isn't gonna go ham on E3. They haven't been done that since 2016. They mostly use it as a big marketing tool, which is what E3 is for everybody. But this year's E3 feels like the bombshell that's gonna drop at E3 might just be a collab between Nintendo and Microsoft, so that might not even matter. Maybe the announcement of the Switch Mini and the Switch Pro could be at E3, so that will be galvanize the show for Nintendo. So when a Direct now feels about right, even if it's not a general one, or but even if it's a smaller Smash Direct. Not only that, like E3 is in June, Mario Maker comes out in June, so I would not expect them to announce the release date for Mario Maker in June, right, like 2 weeks before the game comes out, you know, or for them to shadow drop a game like Mario Maker 2. And I don't believe Mario Maker has enough in it to make it, or Mario Maker 2 has enough in it to make its own Direct. To have its own segment in the Direct, like Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Fire Emblem, Mario Tennis Aces, and all that they had in the past, sure. A Mario Maker 2 Direct, I find that hard to believe, especially after the first one not having its own Direct. And I'm trying to remember, but I don't think Splatoon 2 had its own Direct. I could be wrong, but I don't feel like there's enough there. But I could always be wrong. So yeah, but the best the Best Buy leak that was hinting at this is also a little bit of a weird one that I don't believe in. It feels to me like somebody is working at Best Buy, saw like April Fool's joke and just wrote into the code that like these things are coming to Switch, we must have them ready to pre-orders when they get confirmed and we can open to the public. And it was, what was it? It was Persona 5 Switch, Metro Prime HD, and these two. Here's the thing, before I get to the third one, because there was a third one, I'll get to that. Two first ones. Persona 5S is going to be announced on the 24th. That's Persona Switch. That's Persona 5 Switch. That's almost, I would put money on that. That's Persona Switch. It makes no other. There's no other unless it's Persona Vita for whatever reason. My bet is that it's going to be the exact same thing as Persona the Royal, except with like Persona the Swatch. I'm trying to think of another word for S that is not Switch or special. That's gonna be it. especially with Joker coming out and Atlas playing coy when asked about Persona 5 on Switch. It feels like it's Persona Shin? I don't know. But I think they're going to be the same thing. Maybe with the versions being separated and divided, and not being like Persona the Royal for Nintendo Switch and PS4, because the Switch version might have compatibility with the inevitable Joker amiibo. So yeah, it's up there in the air. I legit do not know. But do not know. I just don't know the name. It's Persona 5 Switch, and then we have Metro Prime HD, which, I mean, it's been something people have been predicting for years now. I would even say since the Wii U era, when people were predicting Metro Prime 4 and the Prime Trilogy in HD, because people just wanted to play the games in HD. I don't blame them. I want to play them too, but still, something that everybody's been working on. The other one, the third one that kind of kills the rumor for me, was A Link to the Past. Because they either misspelled The Link's Awakening, which is a big misspell to do it, if you did it. But it's like, there's a box release for A Link to the Past. Are they remaking A Link to the Past? Is it a dual pack with The Link's Awakening? Is it coming out at the same time as Link's Awakening? Is it coming out before? Are we getting 2 Zelda games this year? Is it coming next year and it's another remake? I'm confused. I don't know. It seems weird to me, and I think that like they saw the IGN, or somebody told them about the IGN April Fools, and they just heard A Link to the Past is coming to Switch, and it's like, A Link to the Past is coming to Switch, let's put it on the website. Or the employees director, or whatever it was. So yeah, and I rambled on for 7 minutes, close to 7 minutes, yikes, on this. And let's get on with the video about indie characters being in Smash. Can they be DLC? I think one might have a chance. One might have a chance. All the others, not so much. Well, first things first, let's talk about the 2 obvious ones. The 2 ones, and I'll get to the third one that's kind of obvious in a little bit, but the 2 obvious ones are Shovel Knight and Shantae. People talked about them as playable characters, as DLC for Smash 4, talked about them as potential newcomers in Smash Ultimate, and once again, and well, wow, we are only talking about one of them as potential DLC. Well, not as much for this game. Being the fact that it would be Shantae, because Shovel Knight's already in the game as an assist trophy. Well, here's the problem with the characters, with both Shovel Knight and Shantae. Well, first things first, Shovel Knight's not going to be in because assist trophy. And Shantae, I don't know, to me it feels weird. Like, a year and a half ago, I would have absolutely said Shantae, both as playable character and potential DLC, made perfect sense to me. I would say, like, she and Shovel Knight are like the indie benchmarks on Nintendo systems. They absolutely are. They're the most popular ones, the most well-known ones. They were basically the face of indies for a while. But right now, I mean, even Shovel Knight is kind of, maybe when we get Shovel Knight 2 or Super Shovel Knight or whatever, it will change. But yeah, at this point in time, I just don't see Shantae being in a game. And if you ask me who like from assist trophies or characters that won't be DLC in this game for one reason or another, that can be the next one. Which ones do I think would be? I don't think I would pull Shovel Knight from the assist trophies and say like he's definitely making it into the next game or has a high chance of making it into the next game, because honestly I think Shovel Knight and Shantae lost a lot of their place, let's put it that way. They're still up there in like well-known, recognizable indie characters, but they're kind of like now in the sea of them. Then obviously the third one, that's obviously the other elephant in the room, would be Sans from Undertale, and I don't know. Sans from Undertale kind of, to me, it's kind of like Sora. I don't care either way. I just don't want him because of the fan base. You know, and you could say, oh, but every fan base is bad. I'm like, we already have Sonic and we have a lot of stuff. Yeah, but I've seen those fan bases and I don't know, man. It's weird because the Sonic fanbase hasn't always been the best, I'll give you that. And there's still, some of them are still terrible, but when it comes to Smash, they don't really make a lot of noise, you know, because they got their character relatively early. From what I've seen from both Undertale and Kingdom Hearts fans, it gets bad. It gets real bad. It gets real bad. I don't wanna. Let's move on. Does he have a possibility of being in again a year ago, half a year ago, a year and a half ago? Yeah, maybe. But not right now. Even in the next game, I don't feel like, I don't know, it's a weird thing. I feel like these three characters would have like been the talk of the town for playable characters for Ultimate before launch. But right now, I feel like all three have lost a lot of their space. Like, sure, Undertale is still popular and Deltarune is making its way now. It still feels very much like these three have lost their, not their spot as like the top, like, or the most recognizable, most well-known, or even memes, let's put it that way, in with Sans. But I feel like all of them have kind of lost their spot in a way, you know, in the conversation. Then we have like Cuphead, but Cuphead is kind of a weird one. It's technically speaking an indie character, but that Microsoft in a way owned. I know Microsoft didn't own it, but technically speaking they did because they have the exclusivity deal. It's a weird one, but would they be in? Probably not, given the fact that Microsoft asked for the port to happen. And I feel like that's much more of them trying it out for third parties. And I don't know, it's a weird one. I'm not expecting it. I could see it coming like with the Mii costume around the time of the possible third Microsoft DLC character, which most likely will be a thing, let's be completely honest, at this point in time. It will be weird. With everything going on with Nintendo and Microsoft, it would be weird if like Banjo and Kazooie did make it in at the very least. Then we have other indie characters that could make it in. The chefs from Overcooked could make it in, it will be weird. But it's a chef, you could do a lot of it with it, I mean, they did a lot with Captain Falcon and he's literally just a racer. They did a lot with Fox and he's a pilot on a spaceship, basically. So with chefs, they could do something with the knives and the vegetables and the ingredients. They could do it, but I'm not expecting it. If they were going to do a chef, they could probably just do it a Mii class at it. So I'm not expecting it. Then you have Hollow Knight, which would be an interesting one, to be fair. An interesting character, for sure. Can I see it happening? No. Again, there's a lot of potential there, and the stage could be great, but I just don't see it. A lot of it, again, it's an indie character, it's a smaller character. We still have to break through, like, we still have to break that thing, that glass ceiling, let's put it that way, for indies to be playable. But there's one indie character that I can see being DLC, and I believe her name is Candace from Crypt of the Necrodancer. Why? And here's the thing, again, this one, I would even say 2 months ago, you had told me, I would have said, nah. The hell is that? Like, Crypt of the Necromancer is like, I was like, that's a game that came out a couple of years ago, right? I don't remember a lot of it. I don't even remember hearing too much about it. I remember coming out, I remember hearing about it, but I don't remember too much from it. I don't, why would you think that? If the leak came out and it's like, here she is, and like, really? I don't see that happening. This leak is obviously fake. Now, when we have the crossover between the two, becomes like, okay, yeah, no, definitely. That's a definite possibility. That's a definite possibility of it happening. Why? Crossover with The Legend of Zelda, the first indie to get a not a third-party license, but a AAA third-party license. That's a big effing deal for a small company to get. And if there's one indie character, I feel like right now, with all the things that we know are coming out, maybe there's even more indie deals in the works. We don't know. it feels like she would have the highest chance. But there's one more character I forgot that kind of also has a smaller, not a smaller, actually, not as a big a chance as her, but up there in regards to indies, and would be Meat Boy. Which is weird because until the Switch, they didn't have games on Nintendo systems, although Super Meat Boy, I believe, was going to be a Wii game? I could be wrong. I believe it was going to be a Wii game. That did not happen. But hey, stranger things have happened, so I could see it happen. It's a possibility. Meat Boy definitely was like until like Shovel Knight came around, he was the poster child for indie games. It kind of still is, and I know that the newest game, people are not too happy, or were not too happy when the game was announced, how it looks and how it's basically an endless runner. It's not an endless runner, but like auto-scroller basically. Just not even auto-scroller, it's auto-mover on console. So you know, it's a little bit on the weirder side. But yeah, we just have to wait there. But yeah, that'll be it for this video regarding to the indie characters. Possibilities, Candace, and I believe that's her name, and Super Meat Boy. Everybody else, I could see me costume for some of them. I could see like the Hollow Knight mask making it in. I could see like the Cuphead head making it in too. I'm shocked Shovel Knight doesn't have like a suit already in the game for maybe like the sword fighter. It's weird. It feels it's one of the weird ones. Like Shantae, the same thing for like a brawler. It's weird that they don't have it. They already went to get the spirit and the assist trophy, so maybe it'll be weird. Oh yeah, spirits. They could also make it in as spirits. That'll be interesting. Oh, Jesus. Kind of yawning right now, not because I'm thinking, but because it's late at night. This is like the latest I've ever recorded one of these videos. Anyway, let's move on to the comments from the previous video first. Canon Ties, should there be a DLC pack? I would like Metopia stage, an Ultra Space stage, a Rogueport stage, and a Sandcastle Ocean stage, and a Box Boy stage. Yeah, that's actually an interesting one that I think I might be doing next week, is like stages. Can there be DLC for stages, echoes, and costumes? Costumes for characters, not costumes for the Mii fighters, because Mii fighters costumes could be literally anything. But like, should there be one? That's the weird thing, right? Because like, there's still stages missing from Smash 4 and Smash Brawl and Melee and even 64. They're not in this game. Feels weird, right? Like there's some stages still missing. I can see something like, oh, we made this stage again in Melee or in Brawl or in 4, and it was better, so why would we port the older version? I get that. Like there was what was it? Was it Venom from Star Fox 64? No, it was a Star Fox stage in Smash 64. Then they made a similar one in Melee that was just better, so they just ported the Melee version. It's a weird one with stage DLCs, but yeah, like there's gonna be franchises like Box Boy that you mentioned that won't have any kind of representation in Smash unless it's like no Box Boy won't even have a Mii's costume, and unless DLC or updates bring in assist trophies, they won't be making it in, unless like Box Boy was a free character, bonus character like Piranha Plant was. I could see it as DLC. But yeah, that'll be an interesting one. I think they should do it. Like Smash 4 had stage DLC, so they could probably do it here, outside of the 5 we're going to be getting from the obvious from the Fighters Pass. And then Terry Severson said, I do think that Crash might become playable through DLC. As for these characters, there's only one that I can see getting in is in Shantae, and I could see Cuphead and Mugman as costumes as well, and maybe a Sans Meat costume. Yeah, that's Shantae. It depends, right? Because Shantae 5 was just announced, I guess. I think no, it was announced for PS4, Xbox One, PC, Switch, and I even think mobile. I think it was mobile. So yeah, it's up in the air. But she obviously still is more acknowledged as a Nintendo indie character. She could definitely make it in. I would put her right now because of the Candace of Hyrule not DLC crossover. I would put her like in like second, third, like maybe below Super Meat Boy. maybe below Super Meat Boy, mostly because like Meat Boy has come to the Switch. Super Meat Boy Forever is a timed exclusive to the Switch if I'm not mistaken, so it would make sense for them to advertise it in a way. So yeah, that'll be it for this video. Next time it's gonna be a bit weird one. Like next time it's gonna be on the 14th. It might be either a talk about the character that we might be or the Smash Direct that might happen, or the Direct, or whatever the Nintendo announces next week. I'm expecting like anytime this week we're gonna be getting one episode regarding something like that, like a Direct or an announcement. But next week, as of right now, it will be DLC stages, DLC costumes, and possible Echo Fighters. So anyway, I've been Legend DS. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time.